Bees are very interesting, and we can learn a lot from bees. I emphasize speaking about bees simply because being a beekeeper, a lot of people don't quite understand the duties of a bee and their relationship to the environment. You see, bees practice husbandry. They're very organized, and most of the colony is ran by female bees. They have a queen that lays eggs, so they have a priority to take care of the queen. Husbandry is the act of caring, building, and providing. And whether you're doing it on a large scale or small scale, either way, it's about growing your own food, whether that be farm animals, whether that be fresh vegetables and fruits. Humans, we can learn a lot from bees. We can practice husbandry ourselves. And we do that simply by making sure that we could provide the necessary environment. Native plants, annuals, herbs that flower, the pollen and the blooms from our fruit and citrus trees. If we make sure that we provide all of these essential means for our bees, we are going to end up successful. Now, my colony, when I first placed them here, almost 4 years ago, I have not had to buy any new bees. My colonies, they grow and they grow swiftly and fast. And I'm able to continue to build upon that. In fact, I have multiple hives here. But let's get back to why bees are essential to the garden for those who are planning on gardening or building a food forest based on permaculture principles. Bees are important. What could we do in order to help our bees succeed? Because the bee population for many years have been threatened. And many of our bee population, their main threat has come from humans. I believe in the form of our government, pesticides, spraying within our airways, and poisoning much of the grounds that are meant to cultivate our food. You see, when our plants are sick, our bees are sick. When our soil is sick, our plants are sick. When our plants are sick, humans get sick. Whatever grows in the soil, the plants are going to uptake it through the roots. Those bees are going to consume the pollen from the plants like humans consume the plant overall. We are all sick. But how can we help our bees? Well, the best way I can tell you how to help bees is that if you have the available land, the more beehives you have, the better. Because bees do duplicate and they multiply quite rapidly, especially when they're healthy. Make sure that if you own your land, you plant plenty, and I mean plenty of herbs, plenty of perennial flowers, annuals, and make sure that your land majority of what you're growing are perennials. Because whether they be food, flowers, herbs, your fruit trees, and so forth, they're perennial. They'll come back every year and they'll provide a good source of food for your bees. And of course, other surrounding insects such as butterflies, hummingbirds, and so forth. Bees are essential for the garden. This is the intro to me teaching you how to properly care for bees and how to overcome your fear for bees. let's get into it a little bit deeper. And I'm going to end this with a little commentary. Well, this is my secondary hive, and this is called a flow hive. Now, hopefully I can get you folks some encouragement in why we should stick with raising our bees in an environment that's going to be conducive for them surviving. Once again, I repeat, herbs, perennial flowers, native flowers, very important. Herbs, perennial flowers, and native flowering plants, very, very important. Your fruit trees and your citrus trees are just a bonus. But native plants, native flowering plants, which are going to include your herbs, are so important to the survival of your bees, is that many beekeepers don't regard that as a priority. It should be a priority if you're going to raise bees. Now, with this flow hive, this helps a lot of you beginners out. Traditional hives are great. They've been around for years and years and years. However, for those who may be a little bit more nervous or don't want to go through all of the work and filtering out your honey like you do with a traditional hive, the flow hive allows you to check on your bees through a window, keeping your bees inside of the contained area. And what you see here is a landing board. You see the brood right here. And when they start to build up and fill in all of the frames inside, I can then add a super or another brood on top of here, preferably another brood. That way they can get through the winter and have enough honey to do so. And then from that point, I can get prepared to harvest much of what is here. And I can harvest it right from here without having to buy additional equipment and putting it in the house. Now, this top here is the roof. It comes off of the hive. Okay, and then you have this top layer here, which protects the bees from coming out. And they are doing their thing. They are doing their thing. You can inspect them this way, but when you're able to put your super on, you're going to be able to inspect them through the actual window. So I'm going to move this over a little bit. Peek around there, and they're doing just fine. All right. Well, until next time, stay tuned for part 2. We're going to get into beekeeping, and I'm going to help you folks overcome your phobia of bees. Until then, I'm Elder. Shalom.